Hello people, good afternoon. This tutorial I will present you Luminar NEO. As everyone knows, today has been released, so I have my copy here. I will demonstrate you some basic tools that they exist. I will start from the beginning till the end, how I will process the images and what result we will get and how Luminar NEO can be helpful in our day-to-day workflow. So, first of all, let's roll our intro. As you see, this is the main screen, Luminar NEO. Of course, you can use it as standalone or as a plugin. In order to use it as a plugin, you come here, File, Install Plugins. Here you have the two options for Adobe Lightroom, Adobe Photoshop, and you install it. If you use it as a standalone app, here's the main screen. So, in order to import your photos, you go here, Add Photos, and you choose the folder where you have it. For example, for me, this one, I press Select Folder, and you see the pictures are already inside my catalog. So, what do we see here? First of all, this picture is not mine. I have downloaded it from Pexels. It's a Powerlines. It's a little bit complicated picture. I do this because they promote that with one click you can remove the Powerlines. So, it's a tricky picture. I don't know if Luminar can handle this. The other two is from my drone, one panorama and one I bring it as a DNG files in order to edit. This one taken with my Sony camera, landscape image, and this two also is a portrait. So let's start first of all with the most anticipated Powerlines picture. So when you press edit, you see familiar tools. The difference is that here on your left hand you see layers. Here at the bottom you have a preview before and after, and here as an actions revert to original. If you remember the previous versions of Luminar, this buttons was here on the top. Here is very familiar screen from Luminar AI, some same tools, some different, some news. You will see here in the panel edit, what edit we make in this picture comes here. Presets, choose for us some presets. The Luminar detects what kind of picture you have and proposes some useful presets. All previous presets that you have made purchase from Luminar AI, it will be here. In order to find where is the remove Powerlines, you come here to erase and remove Powerlines button. I want to be truthful with you. This is looks a little bit slower than anticipated, or so remove Powerline. That's the result. What we see here, as the previous, it's a very complicated image. It's not very easy. Okay, it has many cables, but nevertheless, see the final result. Of course, it's not perfect. Of course, you need to make some more adjustments, but look how easy it is. You see how many cables you have, and with one click, what's the results you get? So what you could do here, come to erase tool, you increase the brush size, you come here, and you do this, choose here some artifacts that remain over there. This one, as you see, I reduce the brush size. And let's say that we want to do the picture already clear, remain some few artifacts. So again, we increase the brush size. We will have a few spots now. And this is the final result that we get. Let's see before. Look how complicated it was and how easy we erase and we make it a bit cleaner and more eye-appealing this photo. I like the result, to be true. Of course, you can clean all this stuff here in order to be better, but for first beginning, in order to see what's going on, I believe it's a very good result. Here, you will see the two edits that we make, one that will remove the second spots, and the other one that will make the remove Powerlines. All the edits, as I tell you, they come here. So, finish this picture. Let's go and process this landscape. This is a raw image, so we'll see how it works. The crop AI tool, very useful. They add also the functionality and the possibility to rotate it, as you see, to flip it horizontal and vertically. Let's press the crop AI tool, see what they suggest. Honestly, I don't like. I will use 16:9, my pictures. That's it. Let's see. First of all, one of the first tools that I use usually is the Enhance AI tool, which, as you can see, it brightens text that we have a sky. So we increase sky concept AI. You see, it darkens a little bit. You don't have to use these tools directly to 100%. It's not, of course, it's not good. Of course, it's too much, and they will create most probably artifacts. You will use these tools sensitive and very subtle. Here, increase the exposure of the photo, reduce the highlights, increase the shadows. You don't use it too much as you will do it in other programs such as Lightroom. This is very powerful tools and reacts completely different with Luminar and Photoshop. That's why we use it very sensitive. Black and white, you adjust your whites and your blacks. Unfortunately, you cannot do it with the assistant any command or control key as you use it in Lightroom. Here you can only eyeball it. And we come here in white balance. Of course, it has a color picker. I don't use it. Let's see. I know it was a sunset, so I want to increase the warmth, increase the magenta. I'm always in love with magenta. Saturation, not too much. I will increase a little bit the vibrance. Sharpen, it's not time yet. Noise reduction, you don't need it. I use 100 ISO. So that's it. Erase. Want to erase something? Of course I do. Here, press erase. I let the program to make the calculations and boom, structure AI. Here is the sharpness that we say. Here is where it gives sharpness. For that reason, I use it a little bit. Black and white and don't want details. Here I show you one trick. I always boost the small details around 20-25. But after that, I reduce the medium and the large details in order to give them the feeling that it's natural. So when someone looks your photo, don't say, what is this? Make it, you Photoshop it, you use Lightroom. For that reason, this is one small trick that I use in my photos. Landscape, golden hour, yes sir. Look how it pops the colors. Foliage, let's see what I don't like it too much. You see here, solely the greens, you see this is unnatural. This is the first part, the essential part. What tools you use? Before it has small dots in its tool that you use. Now there isn't. Now everything is here. All the tools that we use, it's here. So go back to tools. Let's continue and let's come to creative. From here, what I want to do is to reduce the brightness on the back and bring more bright here in the foreground. So how I do this? Try to increase the brightness there, you see, and I reduce. And here's the control. If I go more, I make the here more darker. What I mean. So increase the brightness here in front. See how the picture, the foreground, it becomes more brighter than the background. That's it. The relight is a useful tool. The sky, you know from previous, want to change the sky. The sky, you know from previous, I don't want to change the sky. For that reason, all things are gray out and I close. All these tools, fog, etc., I don't use. What I will do will create a Norton effect. I will increase it too much, but then I make a marker and I use it only here in the foreground. I want to give them the ethereal look to see into my picture. Portrait will not have anything. Portrait, super contrast, I don't use this. So that's my edit. Now you can make also a vignette. That's the edit. Let's see the before. And here is after all the edits that we have done. So let's see another picture. Let's proceed with this shot. from the drone. Increase a little bit the enhance AI structure. And for that reason, let's convert it to black and white. Let's do the trick. Let's put this in 25 and 30. Let's put 30 in this picture, but then let's reduce the medium and the large details. And let's sharpen the picture. Generally talking, you see how much it is. You don't like so much. For that reason, you reduce around here. Okay. Use the exposure. I reduce the highlights a lot this time, increase the shadows, and after that, increase the whites and reduce the blacks. Now, you come here to the edit, that all the things that we have done. Back to tools, and then you want again exposure bounce, but this time you want to make it as, no, you come here, paint, wherever you want to increase the brightness. It's selective. Do it selective. One stop. And that's it. So increase here the matte effect. I don't want too much. This is what gives me the thing of an old picture. You see how it looks like here. And this is the final picture. Let's see the before. And let's see the after. After we edit the black and white picture, we come here to the portrait. This picture has been taken with a Sony 100 to 400 lens with my Sony A7R III. And first of all, we come to the crop tool. I want to crop it for Instagram purposes. I will use something like that. And then I move on direct to the portrait section. First of all, it's portrait bokeh. You see here, if I increase it, then the program starts making calculations in order to identify the mask and the face, as you see already blurred. You see the mask, just like this one. It's a perfect match. Of course, everyone wants a lens 1.4 or 1.2 aperture, but it costs a lot. For that reason, you have here artificially the bokeh. You see with 0 how it looks like, and with, let's say, 60%, 66%, how it will look. The thing is much better, but you see some artifacts here in the corner. I will use it. I will use it very subtly, around 20%. I believe it's not needed more. Okay. After that, I come to face AI, and of course, I want to light my face. This is the main purpose of this here. After I give a light to my face, I also select 10-15% to give a more eye-pleasing result. Let's reduce the light to make the perfect final adjustments.
After that, we finish with the light on the face. We move on to the eye section. Here, I will first of all enlarge the eyes. That's very crucial because I want the viewers to get focused directly on the eyes of my subject. Below is eye whitening. I use it occasionally when I see red strings inside the white of the eye, which helps me to remove it. Eye enhancer, I try to avoid using because it creates various artifacts. Red eye removal, as you see here, we use it when we have a photo shooting with flash and maybe we have red eyes in the picture. Dark circles, of course, I use it. It's very useful. All models and all subjects need this. And at the end, we have the improve eyebrows, which we use it. Generally speaking, gives more darker and more crisp contrast in the eyebrows and give our attention to the eyes. Later on, we go to the mouth section where we increase the saturation of the lips and we increase the lips darkening. By that way, it helps me to show to the viewers the darker part of the lips, so the texture. It helps me to see better the texture in the lips of my subject. After that, I move to Skin AI section, which I increase the amount to 60% and the shine removal to 24%. Of course, this is very useful tool. In case you have some blemishes, you can click on the skin defects removal as you see below. My subject don't have anything, so I leave it unclicked. One last tip, you go to the glow section and from there you apply selectively glow into your subject, on your cheek, on your forehead, in order to be more shiny the skin. It's more eye-pleasing and generally gives very good result. As the last part of our edit, we create a new layer and we use this effect because don't forget it's February, it's St. Valentine's period. Of course, we use some hearts in order to give this more eye-pleasing effect to our subject. So that's it for this week's tutorial. This is a presentation of Luminar NEO. I show you all the tricks that I use, the majority of the tools that exist in the program. It's up to you if you want to buy it or not, if you find it useful in your workflow. Personally, from the time being, I will remain in Luminar AI as most of the tools there already affects my workflow. I don't need to purchase again Luminar NEO. In the future, after I see some new improvements that they are planning to do, as the background removal, etc., maybe I will consider it, purchase one copy for me. Thank you guys, thank you for being here. In case you find it useful, like and subscribe, share with the other guys out there, and see you in next tutorial. Bye guys.